Hello everyone. Today we're looking at 6.3 part 2, which is graphing equations. Write this down here. Graphing equations in standard form. So linear equations, lines that are in standard form, which, as a reminder, that's ax plus by equals c. Okay? Let me move things around here. So looking at this first example, guys, clearly in standard form, where a is 2, b is that in front of the y, -1, and c is 5. Okay? So we learned graphing these. We wanted to do a couple things. We wanted to find the, not sure what I'm writing there. We want to find the x-intercept, and we want to find the, change colors here, y-intercept. Okay, so that's the first step we're going to take here, is finding the x and y-intercept. Okay, so doing that, finding the x-intercept, what you're going to do is substitute 0 for y. So in this equation here, you're going to take and you're going to substitute 0 where you see y. So that's 2x minus, anytime we substitute, guys, parentheses, minus 0 equals 5. So, guys, this is just 2x. It's subtracting 0 from anything, guys, doesn't change it. So it's just 2x equals 5. Of course, then we're getting the x by itself. We're dividing by 2. We've got x equals 5/2, or 5 divided by 2. That's 2.5 as well, if you prefer that as a decimal. Okay, so I prefer, guys, as I find my intercepts, I prefer to create my graph. So, guys, we have an x-axis. We have a y-axis. Our x-intercept, which is 2.5, x equals 2.5, that's going to be 2.5, or 2.5, on the x-axis. So where's that happen, guys? 2.5 is between 2 and 3, so that's going to be right there on our x-axis. So that point, I'll just draw a little arrow, that point is our x-intercept. All right? Okay, so then we found our x-intercept, we plotted it. Our next step is to find our y-intercept. So to find that, we're going to substitute in 0 for the variable x. So here we've got x that we're going to substitute 0 in. So this is just 2 times, instead of x, we're substituting 0, minus y equals 5. So again, this is 2 times 0 is just 0. So 0 minus anything is just going to be, it'll be negative y equals 5. All right, so, well, what's that? How do we get rid of the negative in front of the y? Because the y is not by itself. Remember, we can think of that as a -1. So we can divide both sides by -1. That's, of course, going to give us y equals 5 divided by -1 is -5. So, guys, this value is our y-intercept. That means on the y-axis, my vertical axis here, I'm going to go down 5, -5, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that point right there, that is my y-intercept. All right? So find the intercepts, plot the intercepts, and connecting the dots. That's our line there. Okay? So that process is the same for graphing in standard form. Anytime it's in standard form, you can find the x and the y-intercepts by doing that. Okay? Those are 2 points on the line. Guys, worth noting here, as you guys just saw me do an example where I had to draw my own graph. That was intentional, guys. I know a lot of you guys don't have graph paper at home or printers where you guys can print graphs from the internet. So, you guys, you can sketch your own graphs. Guys, was this a perfect line? Certainly not, okay? Just doing as best as I can there to graph those points, okay? And the best I can to draw a straight line, okay? That's a lot of times what we're looking for, guys. You're just your best effort on problems like these, okay? We know it's tough when you don't have graphs. It's tough when you don't have graphing paper to graph, but it can be done, all right? All right, let's look at one more example here. Number 3. It'll be the same process here, guys. We're gonna find our x-intercept. We're gonna find our y-intercept, guys, and we're gonna graph. Okay, so go ahead and get us a coordinate here. Our x-axis, that's our horizontal axis, and our y-axis, our vertical axis. All right, so let's get on with the x-intercept. That's, again, substitute 0 for y equals 0. So that's going to be 5x plus 2. Instead of y, we're substituting 0. Equals 10. Guys, 2 times 0 is just 0. 5 plus 0 is just going to be 5x. Okay? So we've got 5x equals 10. Okay, so getting x by itself, we're dividing by 5. Guys, 10 divided by 5 works out a little nicer than that first one. Not a decimal here. 10 divided by 5 is just 2. So our x-intercept, where it crosses our x-axis, is at 2. Okay. Y-intercept, substitute 0 for which variable? Substitute 0 for x. X equals 0 here. So it's going to be 5 times, instead of x, we're substituting 0, plus 2 times y equals 10. Guys, 5 times 0 is just 0. So it's 2y equals 10. Divide by 2. And we've got y equals, well, what's 10 over 2? Y equals 5. So we're going to go on our y-axis. This is, again, our y-intercept. We're going to go up 5 units. Plot our point. Guys, we got our x-intercept, our y-intercept plotted. And again, this is freehand as best I can. I'm going to connect my 2 dots. Maybe a little easier to kind of just write lightly. Go over it a couple times. Makes it look a little straighter. So, all right, guys. Little note, maybe for some encouragement. If you are having a tough time with this stuff, guys, you know it's certainly a lot different than being in a classroom. So I encourage you guys, keep working hard. All we can ask of you is your best effort. So if you're given that, you're gonna be all right. Because I know it might be tough posting questions if you don't like using those discussions that I've made. Guys, you guys can always shoot just a message over to me through Canvas or through my email, guys. I post those on that welcome page. So if you don't want to post in that public forum, no need to. Okay, you guys can just send them straight to me. So keep your heads up, keep working hard, do as best you can, and we'll all get through this. Have a wonderful evening and afternoon.